All right, guys, super excited today. We're going to go through HyPage and a few other things. So, one, how to obviously monetize and best leverage your social media following using something like a bio link page. All the strategies you can use to take your social media following, turn them into subscribers, paying members, or purchasing products and becoming customers, that sort of stuff. So, this is really going to be a mix of a demo, a bit of training, and also a Q&A if you guys have any questions about how to set anything up or how to use the products, or any questions even about your social media following and how to monetize them, or your fan base and how to monetize them. So the whole idea of this session is to help improve your guys' businesses. So I'm just going to take you through HyPage first, and then we can dive into it. So HyPage was essentially built to make monetizing your social media following easier. So this is really comes down to what you are doing with your bio link page. So with your bio link page, that is a page that you create specifically for social media. And this usually goes in your bio link. So that's like your bio link for Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all those different places where you can put a link onto your profile. Now, I've also seen people using this in their email signatures and on business cards, all that sort of stuff. Now, the beauty of that is you place the link once, and then you can easily update all of your information constantly. And it's super easy because everything is already kind of set up for you properly, so that the page can be edited on your end and everything else will update as well. Now, a few things that makes HyPage really useful is one, being able to leverage your bio link to sell products, to take fan requests, to collect donations, to sell products, like also memberships. So selling exclusive memberships with exclusive content. So there's a bunch of really cool ways that you can better leverage your social media following. Now, the reason you want to do this on a bio link page is because it's super easy for people to find you on social media and then click on your bio link and then go straight in and purchase on that page. You don't want to start kind of like directing people off to different platforms, creating different accounts on different platforms. All of that added friction really affects your conversion rates. So the idea here is to have a bio link page that can literally replace your website or replace your store for simple products. Now, if you have a super complex store or a super complex service offering, this might be a bit harder, but today I'm going to show you how to set all of this up, set up products, set up your page, set up memberships, how to post exclusive content and get paid for that content on a monthly basis. So I'm going to show you all of that. Going through this, a few things to note, selling of digital products and even just products in general. So HyPage does allow you to sell directly on the page. We also collect all of the users' information and create a login. So any future purchases that they also have, it's a one-click checkout. So you'll see this in Amazon, you'll see this in Shopify stores. They're all creating a one-click checkout. So this is really important because it really reduces the friction of people actually making that conversion. So if you have a fan base that keep buying things from you, whether that's content, audio, visual stuff, whether it's products, whether it's downloads, whether it's mentoring or trainee sessions, you can sell anything. And once you have them with an account, you can enable that one-click checkout, which makes it super quick for them to go and purchase from you. So essentially, this is replacing Gumroad. Creating the memberships, you'll see a ton of people starting to now open up paid memberships. Obviously, the most notable one being Patreon and OnlyFans. But yeah, the whole idea of creating exclusive content that's paid allows you to, take your content to the next level and get paid for it. This is really good because the issue right now is there's so much content. It's really hard for people to choose what to pay attention to. So by offering paid memberships, it gives you money and incentive to create really good content and attract people who are willing to pay for that. So you create a really nice community, really nice membership area that is full of really high quality content, and people are paying for that content. And so that's a really big benefit of adding an extra revenue source, whether you're a store, whether you're a consultant, whether you are selling digital or physical products, having a paid membership area allows you to turn your fans or your customers into, super engaged super fans. Okay, next up, collecting donations. This is really, really easy. A lot of content creators will get donations from fans to keep supporting their work. So, setting up donations is a great way if you're a content creator to generate some extra revenue. We like to really focus on first and zero-party data. So this is collecting and owning your database. Now, the issue with social media is that at any point in time, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, whoever it may be, can say, hey, you're banned, or hey, we're going to reduce the organic reach, or hey, we're not going to allow links in posts or something, or we're going to devalue links in posts, that sort of thing. So I really, really encourage you to collect things like the email address of all of your fans and all of your users so that you can create your own ownership of that person rather than just them having a social profile. So it's really important to focus on collecting an email list because this is going to be very valuable, and you can take that email list no matter where you go, whereas you can't take your Facebook fans or you can't take your Instagram fans to another platform. Whereas with emails, you can take that email list and put it into any email service provider. You can promote anything you want. As soon as you have a new social platform, you can email your list saying, follow me on this platform. So yeah, future-proof yourself with collecting emails. And then I think most of you are probably familiar with what a bio link page actually is. So it's a page full of your most important links, most notably Linktree, which is something else that it will replace. Now, I'm going to log in here and show you how to build everything, but I'll also show you an example. Okay, so this example here, now usually this is going to be on mobile. So you're obviously going to have a mobile view. But yeah, before I dive into this example, let's go into Q&A. All right, Adi, is it possible to set up recurring payments or subscription type payments with HyPage? Yep, that would be the membership, or you can create products that are monthly. So the payment options you have when you create a product or a service that you're selling via HyPage, you can do one-time payments, payment plans, you can do monthly or annual payments. So you have a bunch of options on how you want to price your things. I'll show you how to do that later on. What is the maximum amount of members you can have in your HyPage? There's no limit on how many members you want to have in your membership area. So go nuts. The more you have, the better. Okay, and one more question here. I am from Pakistan. I worked as a freelancer to help integrate HyPage with CRM Zoho. Oh, great. Sounds good. All right, so going through this example, so you can see here, these are my most important links. I've got an email me button. I'm collecting emails. These are all my social handles that people can easily access. I'm linking off to my website, linking off to my blog. I have a paid membership area. So you'll see here, they can pay monthly or annually, and all of that payment information happens straight on the page. You can embed anything. So this is embedding videos, podcast players, images, all sorts of things. Anything that's kind of a HTML or JavaScript, you can add in the embed section. You also have the option to buy products. So this is just literally buying a product. And when I was talking about having an account, so they sign up with their email, they create a password, this is on their first purchase. If they want to, they can log in. But we do cookie everybody so that they should be auto logged in unless they're changing device or browser. So they'll have that one-click checkout. This is what I mean by fan requests. So you can create a fan request here. So this fan request is essentially asking for a review of their website. So they can put in some information, put in their URL, and they'll pay $100 for me to review their website. So you can really tailor that to whatever niche you're in. Creating fan requests can be shout outs, it can be reviews, it can be all sorts of things. And you can get very creative with the fan requests. This is a great way to interact with your audience and get a good return on the time that you're investing in that. So when people want to have maybe exclusive sessions, when people want shout outs, or when people want to ask you questions, you can actually generate some revenue from that, because a lot of people are willing to pay to have that question answered if you're an expert. Okay, and this is a link with a image pulled in. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. You can make your donations here, so you can choose how many times you want to make the donation, and you can also change the amount, so you can put in a custom amount here too. So donations, super easy. This was a test for another subscription, but yeah, you can do products. So the ways that you can generate revenue and the ones that have the payment options are products, digital or physical, memberships, which can be monthly or annual, and then donations and fan requests. Now, we can go into how to create all this. First off, I'll just show you what the login looks like. Hopefully I've got this right. Yep, perfect. Okay, so a user who's logged in, they'll have their account, they'll have the members area, and they'll have logout. So under the account, this is going to be where all of their information is, all the products they purchase from you. They'll have their account information, so all of their credit card info. They can download all of the information that they need in terms of invoices, that sort of stuff. They can see their payment histories. They can manage their subscriptions, and they can access the products. So having the account is really important. And then they can also go to the members area. So the members area, this is your membership. So here you'll see these are all the different posts, and you can see that they're subscribed, and there's the perks that you can add as well. And at the same thing, you can look at your profile from up here too. Now, the membership area is going to be content like this. You can add image and video. Image, video, and text as the main section, and you can also add extra content as downloads and that sort of stuff. So depending on how you'd like to display that content, you can do that in here too. So that makes it really, really useful to add downloads, add extra products, all that sort of stuff. So the membership area, you can get very custom with the type of content that you want to offer. And yeah, if you are not subscribed, so I'll show you what that looks like. So if someone's not subscribed, I don't think this will work because I am subscribed. Yeah, someone's not subscribed, they can come to your membership and they can hit the subscribe button here, or you can add a big notification up here as well. All right, so let's dive into how to create all of this. Actually, let's take a look at some Q&A first. All right. All right, my account comes with 10 projects. How can I resell this to other businesses on a white label basis? Once I use up all my projects, what will be the pricing for more projects? Ideally, every project is a separate website or store or brand. So, and then you can also add in users for each project. So you could manage it that way. I would say you want to probably have a set of clients and then just associate a project with each client. Okay, and I'll go through some of these. I'll go through some of these HyPage submissions for a review at the end. So just add your links in there if you want me to review your HyPage. Okay, I haven't looked at the account features yet, so they can easily cancel their subscription on their own. Yes, Biggie, they can cancel their subscriptions and they can manage their subscriptions all by themselves. There is backend features to also manage all that, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, next question from Gil. Seeing a number of entry fields with HyPage, can you share the data directory to have an idea of what fields are being captured? This will assist in how we deploy the platform. So Gil, not quite sure what you're asking. You might have to hit up support for that, but essentially you're just collecting the email, the credit card information when people make a checkout. So it's as minimal information as possible to make that checkout quick. If you have a physical product, you're also collecting their shipping info because you'll need that to fulfill the order. But that's what you're collecting. And then you obviously have the email collection form if you want for people who aren't making a purchase, but you still want to collect that email. All right, great. So when you first log in, so going back to your projects, so projects, you're going to have, one project for each. Each project is going to have its own product, customer base, link page, all that sort of stuff. So think of it as a separate brand or a separate entity. So here, these are all the different types of links you can add to your page. So you've got the regular links, social media links. So that's if you want people to like, engage with any of your social content. Like a lot of people will put their latest or most popular post in here and ask people to like leave a comment or like it, follow it, share it, that sort of thing. The embed code. So this is really useful if you want to embed videos, podcast embed players, all that fun stuff. The purchase link option. So that's for a product or a membership. Donation option and fan request option. So a regular link here, you have so many options to choose an icon. You have a bunch of colors that you can choose. You can also use an image as an icon. So if you don't want to use an icon, you can change this to an image and upload an image, which is super easy. You can also change the icon to pull in the image from the page that you're linking to. So there's lots of options there. Then when you come down here, you can just choose what the link title is, description is, where you're linking off to, and if you want to animate the link. So that's drawing attention to it, like we saw when the link was shaking before. So that's the regular one. Here you can see the embed code is you're just embedding this iframe here, which is the YouTube channel, and the YouTube video. And if you choose if this is a video or not, it will automatically frame it correctly for you. Here we are taking donations. So here you set what your title description is, your donation amount. You can also look at adding a product. So let's show you how to do that. So when you go to add a product, again, you can choose the icons and all that sort of stuff that you have. Then you can actually go and choose whether it's a simple product or a membership that you're charging for. So over here on the menu, you're going to have your link page, products, and memberships. I'm going to show you how to create a product in a second, but under the product, once you create products, they're all going to show up here and you can choose which one you want to sell. If you're selling a membership, same thing. Once you create the memberships, they'll show up here too that you can sell. Super easy to get all of this set up and create this. You can really do it, literally within an hour. You can have everything kind of built out and up and running in terms of products and membership and all that sort of stuff. So it's very, very quick to do. I think the last one I want to show you is the fan requests, because the other ones are pretty straightforward. So the fan request, you're going to want to put it in a description. So it's like, what is the fan request? So is it a question? Is it a review? Is it a one-on-one? Is it a feature or a shout out? What is that fan request that you're offering? And then how much is that going to cost them? And then you can obviously do that animation shake as well again. Now for contact options, you can add your email and your phone number to show up on your bio link page. You can enable which social platforms you want. And so that's really the content of your bio link page. The next step, you're just going to go to your design. Now there's a bunch of preset designs in here, which you can just filter through and see if you like any of those. Or you can go and actually customize all the colors and fonts on here. You can add background images, GIFs, all that stuff, change the transparency. This is all your fonts. So you're changing, the text that you're putting up here or the font style family. Also, you can hide or enable the email box. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do there. On the settings step, you're going to have a lot more functionality here. So you can use your own domain, or you can use some of the domains that we've provided. Using your own domain will make it so that your page is going to be a lot more branded to your style, because it's actually going to be your URL. You can add your Facebook pixels, your Google Analytics IDs, your Google Tags Manager, so you can track everything that you could possibly want. Adding your share image, adding your terms of service and privacy policies, and you can enable checkboxes to be GDPR compliant. And the last page is some basic analytics. We really suggest adding your Google Analytics there so that you can actually get more in-depth information about where everybody's coming from and all that sort of stuff. It's very, very useful to use Google Analytics. And then this can obviously show you which links people are clicking on. All right, so let's jump into some questions before we go over the products and all of that. I would love to see an undo button on that design page. Got it. Where do the terms and privacies actually show up? So on the page, still have this open. I think I can't do it. So if you have terms and conditions, so here, when you add this, your terms and conditions are going to be here. All right, let's go to Q&A. None in there. Keep asking some questions if you guys have them. If there's anything that you have currently, like a business or a social following, and you need some ideas on products or memberships or ideas to monetize, chuck those in there as well. More than happy to help you brainstorm. Okay, Ramses, is there a way to add a splash page before arriving at the homepage? I probably wouldn't advise adding more friction. The idea is to make it as easy as possible for your fans to go and purchase your products, memberships, submit fan requests, donations, that sort of stuff. Because this is all linking from your social. For example, your social media is going to be essentially the landing page. I probably wouldn't add too many steps for those people because you're just going to have more and more drop off with every step you add. Okay, Dan, can you explain how domains and subdomains work with HyPage? I've already got my domain pointing towards my site builder, but I want to use my URL instead of HyPage if possible. How does that work? So essentially under the settings, you're just going to go up and set up your domain, and you're going to have to do that with your domain registry, like your GoDaddy or whatever, and you just submit a new record there. If you need help, definitely hit up support and they can help you do that. There's a bunch of help support articles as well on how to actually do that too. All right, last question before we keep moving on. Will you all do examples of setting up PayPal if we're not able to have a Stripe account? So you're going to need to have a Stripe account in order to enable PayPal, because Stripe is the one that creates all of the product payments and the subscription, and it's much more secure and it's much more it's much easier to set up the Stripe account. It's like a one-click setup. And then the PayPal integration is an add-on, so it's a secondary option for checkout if they want it. But you still need to have Stripe enabled first, because it is the actual creator and the person who's holding all the credit cards, dealing with all the security and all that sort of stuff. So you're going to need to do that first, and that's also under the settings. But yeah, let's go through how to set up a product. Okay, so here, for example, we're setting up a new product. Let's say it's an e-commerce store profit calculator. I'm writing a little description that's going to show up in their dashboard to remind them. I can add an image of what's going to be included. I can create categories for my products, change it from draft to publish. And then on the pricing and product options tab, I'm going to set the pricing, maybe a comparable price. So it's usually $99. These are all the payment options. So if I'm creating a product or a service, I can say it's a one-time purchase, a payment plan, monthly, or I can even make it free. So free is really good for building your email list. One-time payment is good for creating instant revenue. And then obviously payment plans and recurring is good for ongoing revenue. So you might do maybe consulting and it might be a call once a month. You might put that on a monthly plan. Or if you're maybe in the travel space, you might be organizing a group trip and you might have a payment plan because it's a few $1,000s. So you can really alter what type of payment options you want to offer. Then you can choose whether it is physical or digital product. Digital is obviously easier to start with because it's all automatically fulfilled. Physical, you have to fulfill that order. So I do suggest starting with digital if possible, and then going into physical. You can add your SKU numbers, you can track your inventory. If it's a digital product, you can upload the file of whatever it is, or you can redirect to the link of where that digital file is hosted or where they need to take the next action. So for example, that may be a link to your Calendly or a Zoom or a Hangout or whatever it may be, private group, whatever it is that you're selling. So that is how you set up a product. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Also, you can create coupon codes. So under coupon codes, you can write what your coupon code is, percentage off, dollar amount, free shipping. You can enable it for the first purchase or all purchases. So all purchases meaning that discount is applied for all future payments if it's a monthly or an annual. I would suggest if you want to do a one-time purchase, one-time discount, you can do like 100% off the first month. So that would be like a 100% off coupon for the first month only. And you can choose which product or service you want it to apply to. So you can choose which one it's going to apply to. And then you can also say how many times the code can be used per user. And you can also set expiry dates and all that sort of stuff. So that's super useful when you are trying to do all the marketing for your products. All right, next up, let's go to the membership area. So under the membership area, you're going to want to set up your plans. So plans are essentially tiers within your membership. So you might have, fan and super fan tiers. So the basic content might go to the fan tier, and then the super fan, it might be like exclusive only content. And all you have to do is set up these plans, is name it, put a description on it, and then decide how much you're going to charge. We also have actions that will apply. So you can create this for when someone maybe purchases a plan, you can tag them, and that tag will be sent over to your email service provider. So that's like a Klaviyo or a MailChimp or something like that. So you can easily segment all of your email lists. So that's the first step, setting up the plans. And then you want to design your membership area. So this is really easy, similar to the page builder. You can choose all the different colors that you have. You can change all the text and fonts and styles and all that sort of stuff. You can change the layout of the posts between single and 3. You can add a subscriber alert. So this is a subscriber alert. So when people who come to your membership area who aren't subscribed, they'll see this option to either log in or subscribe. This is really good if you have like some free content. So it's a really good idea to have some free content which teases your paid content. So things like New York Times and that sort of stuff do this really well, where they give you maybe like 1 or 2 free articles, and then they try and upcharge you or increase your plan to get you to upgrade to a paid plan. You can also, again, collect emails on this. We're very big on collecting emails, because it's really important to build and own your audience and customer base. This is one massive issue with a lot of the platforms coming out, is that the content creators or the business owners don't own that audience. Like Patreon, if you create a Patreon account, you don't own that person. Patreon owns that person. They're just subscribing to your Patreon. You don't have that customer data. You don't have that email list. You don't have that contact info to then move them to any other platform if you want to do that. So you've got to really think about who owns the customer or who owns your fan. You also have a bunch of advanced features in here, which you can go through. And it's really nice to be able to customize a little bit more, add perks and all that sort of stuff to your membership. So you can also link this up to, your Facebook group or your Discord or whatever that you might have, that you can add as like an extra perk of access to that group. All right, let's quickly go over the settings section before I dive into orders and people. So this is where you go and set up your domain. There's some instructions here, but you just enter your domain and then you'll follow the instructions in what you need to do in your email service provider, like your GoDaddy. You can change your username. You can choose whether you want your membership or your link page to be your homepage. And then you can add in all the information like favicons, logos, all your handles, all your shipping information, return addresses, all that sort of stuff. So it kind of automates it all. For connecting your payment gateways, you just enable it and then you click connect and it will take you to connect your Stripe account. Same with PayPal. PayPal's a little bit more of a integration, because you've got to go through and set that up so that you have to add in some of these extra API integration details. So Stripe is definitely a lot easier. It takes like 1 second to set up. Your email service provider, so this is like your MailChimps and Klaviyos and all that sort of stuff, so that once people are added to your membership or they sign up in those email fields, they'll be sent over to your email service provider. Same thing, you've got your pixels, you've got your Google Analytics, you've got your Google Tags Manager, and you've also got webhooks. So if you want to send your opt-in information anywhere else, or if you want to send your purchase information anywhere else, you can do that quite easily here with webhooks or Zapier. Financial information, it's like shipping rates and stuff, so it's more for physical products. And then we do send out some default emails. So this is things like your transaction emails, your opt-in emails, and your refund emails. All of this will be kind of automated, so you won't have to worry about it, but you can come in and edit these and make them a little bit more customized to your brand. All right, so let's jump into how you manage all your orders. I'm going to answer some questions in 1 second. So go in and ask all of those. All right, so these are all your orders are going to come in here. All your subscriptions are going to come in here. And what you can do is you can also search and find people and that sort of stuff, which is really handy. So let's go back to here, and I am going to show you what it looks like. So let's just go into one of these here. Okay, so every order detail will have, who the customer is, and you can view that customer information, what they purchased, how much, all that sort of stuff. You'll see the dates, the pricing, their status, and all that sort of thing. If it's a physical product, if it's been fulfilled or not. And then if we go to the customer information, you'll see all the orders from that customer. You'll see what subscriptions they're subscribed to or they have. And you can also add and remove access. So I can add access to any of my stuff here, and I can remove access too if you want to manually manage that. You can also see the tags that this customer has, their lifetime value, number of orders, and all that information. So it does become really handy being able to have all of this information on your customers or your subscriber base. All right, now let's jump into some questions. Addy, can we embed HyPage on a website? If we use the iframe, for example, will all features still work? I don't know. I haven't seen anybody embed it. I would just probably link to it. Most of this was created so that people could just use this in their social media and link off this page, and it could handle everything for them, like all their important links, all their products, all their services, donations, fan requests, and that sort of stuff. So I haven't seen anybody embed it. It might work. I would say you're going to have to try it and then contact support if you have issues. But no, I haven't seen anybody embed it yet. Semi, where do we change the sender name and email of transaction emails? So at the moment, it's all defaulted and simple. So at the moment, you can't change it. If you wanted to send all of your own order confirmations and that sort of stuff, you would just disable it and then send that information to your email service provider so that you could send those yourself. But at the moment, we just keep it super simple, and we're not really adding extra friction for members to mess around with email. So if you want to get like more advanced and more custom, you'll just want to turn off those automated emails and then send the information to your email service provider and send those emails from there. All right. Ramses, is there a way to add a splash page? No, we went over that one. Dan, can you explain how domains and subdomains work? Okay, we went over that. Dan, would I point my subdomain CNAME to app@Hyax? You're going to have to look at the instructions, and that goes through it every step of the way. Biggie, problem is Stripe changes rules in July to only allow one app per account. Yep, you would just want to create a new Stripe account. So ideally, every project should have its own Stripe account anyway. You want to really try and separate your businesses or your accounts or websites, because there's so many benefits for doing that, like not only tax-wise and accounting-wise and keeping everything organized, but it also keeps everything very clean. So the idea of Stripe doing that is probably just to make everything easier, actually. You don't necessarily want to have like multiple businesses all going into the same Stripe account. Okay, Douglas, what are some of the best case users you have seen in coaching and consulting? So all coaching and consulting, ideally you want to add your phone number, you want to add your email, you want to add all your credibility. So that is, adding all the places you've been featured, any big posts that you've had, embedding those. A lot of people embed their Calendly link in here. So in this embed, you can embed your Calendly page so that people can book a time straight from this. So it really reduces the friction on that. I would say consulting wise, if you're doing monthly consulting or something, just creating a product. So you can see here, this has got a embed for the podcast. It's got embed for a video. There's no other embeds, but you can embed pretty much anything. So yeah, those are some examples of how you should use as a consultant. I would definitely just make it so that people can more easily get in touch with you, adding all your information on for WhatsApp, Messenger, all that sort of thing. So you can start chats with people. Really use this as a hub so that people can connect with you on their most preferred platform. And then in terms of selling, I would create subscriptions for consulting, like weekly or monthly. I would also do one-off audits or one-off consultations. So you can literally just make a product. Let's say it's like $200 a consultation for 30 minutes. and then you just create that product and then make the product the link to your Calendly link or something, and you can just make revenue from that. The other way you can do that is fan requests. So if you're a consultant, let's say you do SEO or something, you can say make the fan request, audit my website or something like that. There's a lot you can do with consulting. Okay, hopefully that helped. Semi, that's already the domain sending, which we talked about. Kenneth, is there a way to make the email capture show up as a pop-up after people click on the button? No, the email is just set to have the box there ready for people to enter their email straight away. Again, the idea of this whole platform is to make everything as easy as possible for your fans and customers. We want to make it so that they can easily add email, easily check out, easily get to their products, all that sort of stuff. Next question, Douglas, can we retarget people with YouTube or Facebook ads? Yep. That's why you have the Facebook pixel there. And that's also why we add your Google Analytics as well as your Google Tags Manager field, so that you can track everybody who visits the page. You can remarket anybody who goes to the page, and you can add any scripts that you want. So it will work with pretty much any ad platform. Okay, these are great questions, guys. Keep them coming. Next question. Okay, where do we change the sender name? We went over that. In the case that I won't be able to sell this to clients with the HyPage branding, would you please consider adding SMTP so we can use this sending email just... Hey, Sammy, you can always add in feature requests to support. So down here, you can go into support and you can add in feature requests, and that'll go in, and you can either do a search, you can get in touch and chat with someone directly, and then you can also submit those feature requests if you have them. At the moment, we're really catering more to the individual and the agency with clients, or consultants with clients, or influencer managers with clients, and that we're letting them keep control over everything. So for example, when you go to your projects, each one of these would be a client or an influencer that they manage, and they would be the admin of all of this. So they would be able to come in here and manage everything. Now, if you want, you can rename this, delete it. And also when you go into the settings, under people, actually, sorry, not settings. Under people, you can add teammates. So you can add in whoever it may be, whether it's your client or an influencer you manage. And then you can choose giving them team member access, which is just to this project, or admin access, which is to all of your projects. So that's how you add people. Super easy. And you can see all of your team members up the top here. Okay. If I'm using HyPage with multiple social media sites, is there a way to determine which social media sites the member signed up from? Yep, that's probably where you want to add your Google Analytics tag, so that you can see where all your traffic is coming from. That way you can see if you're getting a lot of traffic and signups from Instagram or YouTube or Pinterest or Reddit or wherever it may be. Addy, sorry, didn't hear you properly. Is there a schedule/booking feature and integration with Google Calendar? So you would want to use an actual calendar tool like Calendly. So you can embed your Calendly form on using the embed option. So if you come to your link page, all you would do is, once you have your Calendly account, you would use the embed code and you would put your Calendly embed link here. So that would show your Calendly options or availability. And then Calendly is the one that actually schedules the calls and adds to your Google Calendar and all that sort of stuff. That they would be what is managed for meetings and all that sort of thing. Okay, great questions, guys. Keep them coming. We were looking for some examples, templates. Okay, sorry, I need to read this out properly. Gala, we were looking for some examples, templates to use as a starting point last night. Where do I find those? So it's kind of hard to give a template just because everybody does something different, but essentially you just want to add your website, your important links, all your embeds for your video and that sort of thing. If you go to /Jack, you can see a few different examples here. So if you go to /Jack, this is like an example of a personal one. So it's like email me, it's all my social channels, it's my podcast, it's fan requests, or it's a YouTube video, maybe buying my Facebook Masters Guide, joining my Growth Hackers membership, all this sort of stuff. So that's an example there. I'll show you a podcast one. So it's an example of a podcast. So it's like all episodes, recent episode, again, embedding YouTube, making suggestions on who should be on there, and then linking off to some of our products. And then the TGM one was the agency one example. And so you can see here's some examples too. But really, in terms of the templates, it's best to put in whatever content you want and then just use one of these templates here. And then you can adjust from the base model. So yeah, it makes it very easy to choose something and make something that is kind of like something you can start with and then just change the colors to match your branding, or change the fonts to match your branding. Okay, next one. Can we retarget Facebook and YouTube? Yes, we went over that one. Biggie, is there a way to add additional headlines / section headings throughout the page? At the moment, this is it's just literally this top section, your social section, and then your links under this. You can rearrange all your links and all that sort of stuff. But no, there's no sections. Okay, next one. How do you return to the default template / reset design? So you would just click on the default one. So, you know, whichever one you want to default to, you can just click on any of those and it will automatically change it back. That's how you would go back to a standard one if you kind of like wanted to reset the look and feel of your link page. Ramses, can this be a standalone replacement for a site like OnlyFans? Yep. Ideally, the membership section here was made to replace OnlyFans and Patreon. So we take 0 fees on that too, whereas OnlyFans and Patreon take a fair bit. So yeah, the whole point of that membership area is to create exclusive content for your super fans. Is there a compelling reason to use HyPage versus your own domain? So the main reason people use HyPage is just if they don't want to deal with setting up their subdomain. And so they just use the regular domains that we give them because they can get something up and running in like, 20, 30 minutes. Whereas when you set up a subdomain, your domain registry, like a GoDaddy, is going to take, a day or two to set up your subdomain and redirect that to HyPage so that domain will start showing the content that we're asking it to show. So it just takes a little bit longer to do the subdomain. And for non-technical people who don't want to deal with their domain registry, they like to just leave the regular domain. Ramses, if so, how can a not safe for work or content wanting to be displayed for those who are not yet fans and don't know what their page contains? So I'm not too familiar with the OnlyFans niche. Yeah, we don't necessarily deal with that much adult content. So you might have to hit up support for those sorts of questions. And then they might be able to give you some more info on it. Biggie, but which one is the default? The default is HyPage, hy.page / your username, but you can choose either. So it's like, if you wanted to use links.page, all you have to do is click that and save. And that's going to change between HyPage or links page. And then if you want to use your subdomain, you would go through that setup process. Yeah, Biggie, just submit any feature requests you have to support, and they'll make a list and it'll get to the developers. All right, guys, hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if there's any other questions you have. I'm going to go back through and look at some of these examples and maybe give some feedback. let's see where this is. Okay, so we've got one here, got one here. All right, hopefully none of these are adult content. I know there was a few others further up here. Maybe it was in Q&A. Yeah, guys, if you want me to review your HyPage, this will probably show you some examples too for people who are looking for examples. Okay. All right, this one here. You know, obviously when this is on mobile, it's going to look a lot better. But okay, tap to watch video. I would just embed the videos. I wouldn't even like asking people to tap to do it. Pre-register here. Okay, so that's linking off. Yeah, I don't know if you want to have doubles. It works. Register here. Got it. The only thing I would say here is this is kind of like a pretty long page. I would definitely prioritize your content. Like, what's the most important thing you want to push? Put that up the top. Also, I would add a description. You know, you can add more information that way, and on mobile, it's going to look a lot better. I would possibly change your background image to make it something a little bit more backgroundish, so it doesn't make it confusing, or maybe add some transparency or decrease or increase the transparency to make your main content stand out a bit more. Yeah, so that's some feedback for this one. But yeah, definitely add a description as well. All right. This one here. Okay, similar thing, out of the box economics. Yeah, pretty similar to feedback to the last one. I would definitely change the background. It's kind of really hard to read. I would also put more spacing in between all your emojis. It looks a little bit cramped. But I would try and cut down on the amount of text that you have here. It just does take a lot of it takes a lot of room, and it looks hard to read. So I would definitely add in more text. Oh, sorry, less text, and try and make it more direct. All right, wellness talk. Call me, email, Facebook, Instagram. Okay, tap to watch. Yeah, again, I would just embed the videos if you want people to watch it. You can embed Facebook posts, Instagram posts, YouTube videos, all that stuff. Bobby Buck. Wow, Bobby, you've created a lot. But yeah, you can see how that background, like this background is a lot better. So it's like when it's on mobile, this background isn't going to overpower the content. Okay, art and soul. Yeah, I would, again, change the background. Wow, Bobby, you submitted a lot. Nice. Okay, so I just missed affiliate, promo. Yeah, I would add transparency to the background so that it's like also a bit faded. By adding that transparency, you'll make it more faded, and it'll also bring out your main content. So you see, like, you know, this is pretty hard to read on this background, but if you add some transparency and make this lighter or darker, you'll be able to see your main content a lot better. All right, anybody apart from Bobby have any that you want me to review? Does HyPage offer consulting services on reviewing your build to see if the practices are being done? Gil, just submit it to support down in the corner and we'll do it for free. We'll let you know what we think you should add, what we think you should remove, design-wise, how you should style it, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, definitely just submit that and we'd be more than happy to help you out. Okay. Let me see what else we have here. Okay. Sharini, thank you so much for this. I noticed that both handout downloads are actually the same though. Okay, I'll have to delete one of those. Dan, thanks for the time, Jack. Figured out subdomain with support. Nice. Dan, subdomain setup is really easy. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate the help. Sammy, loving HyPage. Jack, what is the email address the transaction emails are sent from? Would we be able to at least add our branding and name? Yeah, so under the settings, Oh man, why can't I click on this? So under the settings, under your default emails, you can add whatever you want in here. So you can add style, your own text, your own images, whatever you want here, and you can preview that email too. In terms of changing this branding, you're going to have to use your own. Like if you want to change like the logo up here and that sort of stuff, you're going to have to disable it and use your own email service provider. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. Bobby, no worries. Happy to review it. Gala, this was helpful. Thank you so much. Shirini, thanks for joining. But guys, if you want, go check out in support. There is a bunch of things like examples and help articles and all that sort of stuff. So search whatever you want here. Hit up support and we'll get back to you usually within a few minutes. It's Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we'll be pretty available to chat, especially if you want feedback and reviews and that sort of stuff. But yeah, go through here and set everything up. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy, but let us know if you have any issues or questions. You can always email us at contact@hy.page, contact@hy.page. So shoot us an email if you've got any other questions or hit up support. But guys, really appreciate the time. And I think we got a lot of awesome learnings out of this. So let me know if you've got any questions. Also check out Blitz Growth, the podcast where we go over how content creators are building their following and their audience, and then how they're also monetizing that. So if you are a content creator or if you're trying to monetize your social media channels, go check that out. All of it's kind of free. And it's just, 20 to 40 minute interviews with a bunch of different people. So go check that out and let us know if you've got any questions. The last one on with Evan on TikTok was really good. If you're looking to get into that right now, great channel for growing a social media following quickly because it's brand new and there's a lot of organic reach. So jump on that opportunity while you can. But really appreciate everything. Last question before I wrap it up. Okay, Sammy, thanks for your answers. What is the email address that you would see? It would come from a receipt at HyPage, pretty much. It would be one of our emails. Again, if you want to mess around with the emails and you want to take it and make it more custom, you're going to have to disable the default emails and set up your webhook so that you're sending that information to your email service provider and then sending your own emails. Same way that Shopify does it. Shopify's default emails. If you want to go outside of Shopify, you just got to disable Shopify and go and send them via your own email service provider. So it works the same way. I would just suggest using the default emails. It's a million times easier. But yeah, if you really want to go custom and if you really want to make it from your own email address and that sort of stuff, then yeah, you just have to disable our default emails. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. Have an awesome week and hope to chat with you soon. Guys, enjoy HyPage. Bye.